Namaskara.
Namaskara, Hardik. How are you doing?
Perfect, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. All
Amazing.
is well?
Perfect. Everything is going fine. Good times,
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
So, welcome to all our viewers. A warm welcome to YPS. Uh, we warm-heartedly welcome to the second season 2, episode 19 of YPS Meet Live. We have started in 2020, and this will be the last episode of 2021. And the next series in the next number in the series, I'll be taking up at the end of session. Uh, yeah, so travel photography, today's session, it is something, the travel and the photography, the word, they are so simple just to hear them. But then when you actually drop into travel photography, I'm pretty sure it's not so easy because to show a place in its the best way, in the best expression, what we can show it to the world, it's not that easy. And imagine if you keep traveling to the same place and you want to show something different each time, right? You really need to have that kind of thought process and visual, aspect to make something different and inspire the people around us. So we'll be and talking about travel photography. We have one of the best, I can say, the master in travel photography with us today, and we'll be meeting her soon in a while. And before that, we'll quickly go around of announcement, and then we'll come to the we'll meet the master of the day. Yeah. So as you all know that it's Golden Jubilee year for YPS, and we are trying to create something called Visual Memories, the Golden Book of YPS. So if you have any photographs, artifacts with respect to YPS, do upload them on memex.ypsbengaluru.com. I'll be putting this link in the chat section so that you can easily navigate to the website. Now, I hope you have started and you have already ordered your YPS memorables. If not, I would really urge you to do it right away, especially the mugs, the limited edition mugs, the Golden Jubilee Year edition. We You can order them right from our website and get it delivered at your doorstep. We also have the caps in two colors, beige and blue. You can order them as well. And again, all you need to do is go to our website, look for this particular image which says YPS memorables, and you can choose what you want to put it into the cart and do a checkout. It's that simple, right from ypsbengaluru.com. Again, that particular link I'll be putting up on the uh, comment section. And last but not the least, if you wish to become a member, all you need to do is visit our website, ypsbengaluru.com. And if not, you can scan the QR code which is present here. And I would really, again, urge you to follow us, like our page on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. If you're watching this on Facebook, there's a small share button on the bottom. You can share it with your friends so that they can join along with this session, and they can also enjoy the photography and learn something new. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button and click the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it so that you get all the notifications immediately we push content on our channels. So, yep. Now coming to our today's session, travel photography. Okay, quickly, I would like to ask to all our viewers, so how would you define travel photography as, in few words? Put them in the comment section and I'll see which one is the best, nearest, maybe creative answer to it and the right one, and I'll put them up on the screen. Yeah. So let us welcome our today's speaker, Miss Tania Chatterjee. Namaste. Welcome to YPS.
Namaste. Good evening to everybody.
Yeah. Finally, we are meeting here. I've been following you since I understood the moment I understood that you're into travel, and yeah, looking at your Insta profile, I was really like, wow, this is something. So yeah, finally we meet here, and a warm welcome to YPS. We are so glad you are here, and yes, definitely travel photography is something I've never understood that well. Like I know that you show a place in its best way, but then what makes that thought process to make it something different every time, or you get the best out of that moment, right? So I'm looking forward for today's session. uh, yeah. Okay, and before we begin with our today's Yeah.
team for this for inviting me for this online session. Thanks to the entire team, especially Satish ji, Prema ji, and of course you, Hardik.
It's our pleasure to have you here, no doubt. We would really want you to, make a travel series in South India and start from Bengaluru and come here. Then we can have a presentation here. I hope the situation is good that we can do that very soon. Yeah, that's what like what we were discussing in the backstage, that we would love to see the way you would see South India, or the places what we have already been seeing from years, but then from a different eye. So that would be inspiring. Yeah. Now, to all our viewers, let me quickly introduce Tania Chatterjee to you all. Tania Chatterjee is a photographer, humanitarian worker, and educator based in Kolkata, India. After completing her master's in environment management, she started her career as humanitarian professional. Since 2010, she has been practicing photography as her full-time profession. She is founder and director of Photo Orbit Private Limited, that is www.photoorbit.com, a company dedicated to promote photography as a visual art form. Her niche interests are travel, documentary, and human interest in photography. Presently, Tanya presents Nikon India as an influencer. Tanya has completed various photographic assignments with some renowned organizations like Nat Geo Traveler India, India Film Project, Vivo, Samsung, Sahapedia, Rajasthan Royals, etc. Tanya's photos have been widely published in some famous platforms like VICE, Smart Photography Magazine, Asian Photography Magazine, iShot, Street Photography Foundation, One to One Clicks, and exhibited around the world along with numerous national and international awards. She has judged numerous national and international photography competitions as well. Tanya conducts regular photography classes and workshops to develop photographic techniques amongst the upcoming photographers. She conducts photography workshops in various parts of India and Southeast Asia. So that's the Tanya Chatterjee for you all. Fine.
Thanks for the
Uh,
introduction.
yeah. So how did you dropped into this world called photography, and then especially the travel photography, and what is that makes you keep making different every time you visit a place? What's that secret, or what is the thought process behind that?
Actually, I came into photography accidentally. No one
Okay.
is in my family or friend circle wasn't there in photography. It was a bit accidentally I came, and I start photography a bit late. Actually, as I in introduction you told that you have mentioned that I started my career as a humanitarian worker. That means a social worker. I worked with various NGOs in different parts of India for 5 to 6 years, I guess. Then, while working with the underprivileged section of this society, I felt that there are so many, so many stories, human stories are there to tell. People should know about them. Only report writing is not done, but those NGOs and all, they were more into report writing, not into that much documentation or photography at that time, or maybe with whom I was working. So I felt like I should do it, with myself. There are so many challenging stories, so many human success stories are there, and those are very motivating, and I thought I should try to photograph and to document them properly. But at that moment, at that time, something happened in my personal life, and with physical issues happened, and I have to left job. I have to quit my job. I took a break for actually for 2 years, and that 2 years, after I become a mother, then I travel a lot, and I practice photography also, a bit. So after 2 years, when I again back to my work, again back to my profession, and that time I felt it's being very difficult to balance everything: new mother, family, photography, travel, and job. And I felt that I have to, need to balance, and I quit, finally decide I'm going to quit my job permanently. And thanks to God that I have that much privilege that I can leave my job and pursue photography. So I thought that okay, just give a try to be a full-time photographer. So I really work hard at that time, and after that I realized that oh my God, photography is a bit expensive affair, especially when you are in travel photography. You need to travel, you need to explore new places, and repeated visit maybe for the same places. And no, then I think it's not going, just a hobby is not done. I have to be a professional photographer, and I accordingly I started preparing myself to be a professional photographer. So that's just not a hobby, I can also earn through it. So this is in brief my journey, and I feel that I'm still a learner and I'm still learning. And let's see. And I'm a self-taught photographer, and what I always feel that it's okay that I have started photography a bit late, but because of my background, a humanitarian background, I always feel connected with the people, and I love most to document people. In my, if you check my profile, in 99.99% images are with people. There is a human element there. I love to document people. I want to tell their stories, and document their life, their culture, and everything. So I'm still, keep on trying to improve myself, and the process is still there. So this is a brief journey how I came into this profession.
Wow, that's really wonderful. So we can say what happens is for the good, and you're the living example that you cannot just do photography, but
Now
then
I
earn also and
that
enjoy.
quitting job is one of the, best decision I have taken in my life.
No, no, yeah, pretty. I can understand that that would be so difficult, right? Because I believe that photography, we don't have such institutions. We have institutions coming up right now which are really good, where you can learn photography and start earning. But then it's not that developed. Maybe it's on the uprising side, which is good.
It's
But yeah, still
challenging also.
it's challenging, yeah. And what from what you mentioned about you traveling and capturing people, I guess travel photography is something that you need to capture people, because what the place is, it is by the people, right? It is because of the people who are living there, and maybe that is very important to show their culture and how they are, and that gives a good essence, I guess. Yeah, that's a good. Definitely. Already we are taking away from this session. We haven't even started the presentation yet. So, yep. Okay. Yeah, we have a couple of comments on the. Mm, yep, Sandeep says, from my perspective, travel photography is something which imprints your feelings of traveling, and most important, it gets you out of your bed. Yep, kicks you out of the bed to do something great out there. Yeah. Perfect. Fine. Yeah. So stage is all yours, and looking forward to not just see the images, but the stories behind them, and to learn something
Yeah,
new.
let's start the presentation.
Yeah, before you start the presentation, Tanya, welcome to Bangalore. Welcome to Youth Photographic Society, the number one photography club in India. And in fact, we feel privileged to have such a wonderful travel photographer in our club, and particularly during our Golden Jubilee celebrations. And who could be the best? It is none other than Tania Chatterjee. So today we are going to see them very colorful and lively, and with a lot of celebrations, and with a lot of storytelling images of Tanya, because I have seen your presentation earlier. So I found it is one of the very good travel sessions that I have seen. So today we at YPS, all our members, we feel very happy and privileged to see your award-winning images. So let us start, Tanya. All the best.
Yeah. And let's start the session. And after the session, I will take questions. okay, from the guests or the participants or viewers actually. So let's start, Hardik. So there is a very quick, very quick introduction here in this presentation. I'm just going to share my experience and my learnings regarding travel photography. So here the very brief definition, what is travel photography for me? When you are visiting a new place, you are experiencing something new. Maybe geographically you are experiencing something new, maybe architecturally you are experiencing something new. The peoples are different from your place, their attire, their facial thing, the facial characteristic is different, and their food culture is different, their various rituals and overall culture is different. So whenever you are traveling to a different place, you are experiencing something different. For me, travel photography is visual presentation of these experience while traveling, and how beautifully and how creatively you are going to present your experience. That is your photography skills is there, how beautifully and creatively you are going to present this. So let's start. Yeah. First, I'm going to discuss the various, travel photography is a huge genre, probably the biggest genre in the photography. Uh, and there are a lot of section in travel photography. The first is landscape photography. I'm not a landscape photographer, but luckily, and I got chance to visit few places where the landscape are just like heaven, and Uh, so, this left hand side image is from Ladakh, and the right hand side image is from uh, Kashmir, Gurez Valley. It is a Gurez Valley image. So no filter has been used. These are basically a very simple click. And so when you are visiting to a new place, some geographical appearance of that place becoming so appealing to you that you become mesmerized and took few clicks. So definitely landscape photography comes under travel photography. So I'm not going to discuss too much about travel landscape photography today because that is not my specialized genre. But definitely landscape photography comes under the travel photography. Next, Hadik. This image also of Ladakh, you can see, is the sunset image actually. It's a Nubra Valley image. I took this image at Nubra Valley during the sunset. So Nubra, yeah, yeah, it's okay. Next, this is my favorite uh, genre, you can say, the people and portrait. So while visiting a new place, it's always there in back of my mind how I'm going to represent, but document the people of that particular place, how beautifully I can represent them, and in front of my viewers. And one thing, I always try to represent a culture positively, beautifully. And there are a lot of negative things are there, but I love my that is my perspective. I always love to showcase the beautiful part of a different culture, and this is my favorite genre in the photography, that is people and portrait. Here in the screen you can see this image I took at Vrindavan Holi, at Barsana temple during the Samaj, the at the peak moment. The holy the event was going on, and this is an environmental portrait, and you can see that the person is totally, deep into the singing. They were playing some, singing. Actually, the person is singing at that time. I took this shot in front, a very close portrait of that person. So it's a completely a candid moment, and it represent the vibrancy of Holi and the colorful festival of Vrindavan.
Tanya, actually, in travel photography, most of the time we try to take the essence of the culture, the tradition, and also the emotions of the people we capture. But those emotions and candid, it is not always possible. So uh, how do you manage yourself to get that emotions and that feelings of the moment?
Yeah, it's a good question actually, Satish ji. Always, it's my prime objective to take candid shots because during candid, while in the emotion is best captured in candid moments. What I always feel. So I will
Yeah.
this topic actually I have discussed in my presentation later, but
Mm,
when I visit a place, maybe
mm,
once in a lifetime, I will visit that place. And
mm,
I'm not getting, for maybe for half an hour or for 1 hour, I'm in a place. And that time, I have to get a good shot, a good moment I have to capture. So, that time, if I'm not getting any good image or any what is there in my mind about the
mm,
place,
mm.
I try directorial shots. That means directorial shots means I ask the people to pose for me, to
Yeah.
first, what the thing is that I start interacting with them first. It's very
Mm,
important to find out a good character, a good character, a good person with good features. I look for them. If I particularly get that kind of character, maybe a child, maybe a woman, maybe a man, whatever, I look for them. I keep searching. If I get someone suitable that it's good enough to represent that particular area or place, or good enough for an environmental portrait, I start communicating with that person. And if I feel that the person is comfortable enough in front of my camera, then I start shooting, because I'm
okay.
very comfortable in talking with people, and I never
Yeah.
felt there is a never I, as I mentioned, I am from the social background, development background. I used to talk with people, local grassroots people a lot. So communication with the local people is the key of travel photography and people photography for me, what I feel. So that breaking ice session is very important. So once I talk with the person for 10-15 minutes, and once the person gain confidence on me, then I started clicking images. So later I will discuss. And another thing is that, yes, I take directorial shots. I give direction to my subject, that please look at this side, please look at that side, will you please sit here, please don't sit here, please sit here, because the this side the background is better, so it will look good in my portrait, in my image. So I love to give a direction to my subject. And whenever I feel the person is comfortable enough in front of my camera, so there are combination of both, candid plus directorial shots. I take and I practice both. And later I will discuss also. And another thing is that what I want to say, Satish ji, that I suppose I want to represent a particular area or a particular place. I never implement anything. I'll never implement any element which is alien to that place, which doesn't goes with that culture. I never do such things. So that is very important to keep in mind. I saw people carrying props and put it here and there and make a good composition, but I never do that. The all the elements should be there, representing that place, representing their people's culture as it is. That is very
No,
important
that
for
is
me.
what we call it as the essence of culture and place, no? Because
Exactly,
if you put
exactly.
your props, whatever you require, then it doesn't become travel photography. You can do these Magalang pictures sitting at Bangalore, keeping all the properties. So that is not the thing. So you have to respect their culture, their tradition, and their feelings, and then capture that moment. Uh,
Exactly. So
that
that's
is more
why,
important in travel. Yeah, you
and
are right.
how
It's beautiful. Yeah.
beautifully you are using those elements, the traditional elements, and keeping it in the background and making the image more powerful and giving
Yes.
more information to the viewers about the image. That I always keep in my mind. Suppose think about this image. This is a Nagaland's image. It's a Konya tribe person. So I always, while clicking an image, I always think what information I am giving to my viewers, what information my viewers actually extracting from this particular image. They are seeing a old man with a very different cultural perspective, with
Mm,
tattoos and face on entire body, and if you can see the little bit of house of that person, you can see some skull, some animal skulls and all. So it gives my viewers a little bit information about the person and about his surroundings. So that is what I feel is very important, that with the photograph, with a travel image, how much information you are giving to your viewers. So just the before I, at, and what I feel that I am so lucky, in fact we are so lucky that we are in India with such a cultural diversity. In from one place to one place we visit, the entire culture, and everything changes. So the first image was from UP, and this is from Nagaland, and the what a difference, what a difference in the culture and the entire perspective of their facial things, facial characteristics, cultural, traditional practices, everything changes. So that's actually inspires me a lot, and I love to capture those things. Next, Hardik. Yeah, this is Orissa. So from Nagaland to we came to Orissa, and we can see the entire perspective again changes. The here is the Bonda tribe. The Bonda tribal women are there, and their dress is something completely different, completely different. From the modern society. Means nowadays also people can wear this kind of dress and all. This is quite amazing that people are still maintaining the old tradition. And the lady, she is having rice beer, and the right hand side you can see a very traditional pot is there. It's a very the in that pot, they wooden pot, they used to keep the rice beer, and a kind of a glass. It's not actually glass, what locally it called, I don't remember right now. She is drinking that rice beer from that particular glass, or whatever they used to say. I mean, even that is also very different, very different. And I want to keep that in my image. So while you say, just a question you asked, that while taking this picture, this woman was sitting, and they came in the market to sell the rice beer actually. So I was very that the thing with that the lady was drinking actually the rice beer, that caught my eyes, and I felt that I must keep it in my photograph. This will enhance, more. This will give more information, visually more appealing for my viewers. So I just give a direction to that lady, can you please drink a little bit of beer for me? So at that time I took the image. So sometime I use directorial shots to make my images more appealing for my viewers. Next. So this one is my city, Kolkata. As you can see that uh, the Howrah Bridge is there, and at the left side corner, and the please go, please back.
Sorry for that. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah, this is the Howrah Bridge is there, and at the left side corner is the Howrah station is there, and its river Ganga is there in the background. When the people saw this image, if they have little bit of information, they will definitely get to know, oh, this is Kolkata, and there are two wrestler is there at the Ganga Ghat, so they will get that information, oh, it's still there, the still traditional practice of wrestling, mud wrestling is still happen in Kolkata itself. So there the people are getting more and more information about this place. So this is all about, travel photography for me. Next. uh, The left hand side image is from Ladakh, the Aryan Valley lady, and the right hand side image is from Kashmir. So here the Kashmir and the Aryan Valley, the intentionally I have kept this image, both the image together. It's maximum of 400 kilometer away, the both the place, Kashmir and Kargil. The Aryan Valley is very close to, comes under Kargil district, and just for maximum 400 kilometer away. But how much difference are there amongst the people's facial characteristics, their dress, their culture, attire, their food habit, everything changes within the just 300-400 kilometers. So that's the beauty of India, what I feel, and that amazing, it's really very amazing. I feel amused, and I always want to capture and document these kind of things. That's why people photography, you know uh, very, I feel very appealing. This is the reason, so much cultural and traditional differences are there, and those culture definitely are very beautiful. Next.
In fact, I have seen some of the travel photographers when they take pictures like that, portraits, they try to fill in the shadows. Okay, instead of taking direct shots, whatever the lighting condition, they try to fill the shadows with a flash or with the reflector or things. But in that moment, the emotions or the characters or that feelings in the face, it changes. So, what do you prefer? Taking pictures as it is, or you want to use fill in flash
I
or
never I
reflector,
never
things like that?
used any artificial light while, taking this kind of especially tight portraits. This is a
Mm,
very intense, tight portrait or headshot, but I have never ever used any artificial light while traveling. First of all, there are two reasons. I prefer to travel light. Okay, I more love to concentrate on composition rather than on my gears. So later I will talk about my gears, but I love to travel light. So that's why I avoid tripod. I avoid to carry any artificial light. And
okay.
another most important thing is that I'm going to someone else home in
Mm,
else place, and the person is giving me permission to take his or her image. That is a big thing for me. And
mm.
then putting up the artificial light, flash or reflector in front of that person is, I don't feel very comfortable with all that kind of setup, because I don't
No,
want
I
to
think
make
they
the
will get disturbed very much.
front of me. I more what I prefer want to talk. I talk with the a person. I want to get information about the person, about his family, and while talking, while though that interaction, I start clicking. I do my click. This is my kind of photography I used to prefer. I never use any artificial light or reflector, and don't want to make the person feel uncomfortable, because they are not paid models, and they are not used to with giving pose in front of photographers. They are not used to with such big reflectors or artificial light setup, and I don't love to make them feel uncomfortable in front of me. So that's the whole thing. So yes, apart from environmental portrait, I also love to take intense portrait headshots. So this is the Thayyam. The person is, before the before the Thayyam, the ritual, they were doing the face painting. At that time, I took this image, especially to depicting, especially to give the visual presentation of the face painting. It's very intense and lovely face painting. Next. Yeah, this is a very interesting portrait. Uh, I took this picture at Hola Mola festival at Anandpur Sahib, Punjab. During Hola Mola festival, I was visiting to the tents of the various tents of these people, and suddenly in one of the tent I saw this child, and all the six, all they were wearing royal blue color dress with a royal blue color pugri and all. And suddenly I saw this guy, boy with blue eye, and the blue eye is actually very rare in our Indian society, and it's very rare to get. And with blue dress and with blue eye, what a combination. And I felt I must get a good portrait, but unfortunately the boy can't, he is deaf and dumb, unfortunately. So I approach his parents, and to make him understand that I want to take his picture. So it's a very close portrait. You can see it's a very close portrait. So without the person consent, I can't take this kind of close up shot. So first I approach his parents. I told them that I want his portrait, and then they make the boy ready, and I start interacting with him with some gestures and all, and I took this portrait. So it's a very special one for me, this portrait. Next one. Yeah, culture. Capturing culture definitely comes under travel portrait. It's not only about the people and the portraits. Definitely, I love to capture the culture of various places, because what I always feel that if you really want to know about different people of in different tradition, any festival is the best time to know about them, because at that time they wear their traditional attires, jewelry, dresses. They remain in the best of their moods. Their moods are very on at that time, and they cook all the traditional food at that time, and they do all the traditional rituals at that time during the festivals. So festive moments are the best time to capture the tradition or culture of a particular region. So that's why I love capture uh, festival. I love to do festival photography. So this is a festival, rural festival of West Bengal. The district is Purulia, and the name of the festival is Korom. uh, in this festival the ladies were dancing, and fortunately this swan actually passing in front. It is completely a candid shot, but luckily I got this swan also in a group. It seems like they were also dancing with those ladies, and luckily I got this shot. It's purely a candid shot, a candid moment I got. And very rhythmic actually. The in background the ladies were dancing, and in foreground those swan also, it seems they were also dancing
Hmm.
in a group.
In fact,
So
Purulia is one of the best places for travel photography. The houses are painted with beautiful
because
drawings and paintings.
tribe there is Santal tribe, and
Mm,
they are actually traditionally very rich, and
very rich. Yeah.
throughout the
Mm,
year they have various different kind of festivals, and
mhm,
every festival is different from the other, and very
mhm,
different, very distinct.
mm.
So there is very good scope of photography
Okay.
in the Purulia district, and luckily is not very far from Kolkata. So
Mm.
I visited few times, and this is one of my favorite shots from Purulia. Next, Hadik. Yeah, this is Pattan Kodli festival, and one of the most difficult festival I have ever covered, I must say. And especially the intense, the peak moment of the festival when the Baba started dancing, and almost tons of haldi and color uh, people were throwing towards Baba. And that time, getting a good image with the action packed image with good composition to give the feel uh, to your viewers what is actually going on is was very difficult, and one of the most challenging festivals I have ever covered, this Pattan Kodli festival. But I enjoyed a lot, and I have very good number of images from this festival. Next, yeah, this is Owling Festival. This is the Longwa village of Mon, Nagaland, and you can see anyone can actually feel the essence what we used to say of the festival. The after the dancing and all, singing and dancing, they end the festival with gunshots, and with they dance with the guns, and make a huge grand ending of the festival. So I try to
Hope the
capture.
gunshots are not towards the photographer. They would have been fed up with the photographers by that time.
Time it was actually a shock for me. Oh God, what is happening? But then, oh, fun, because everyone in a very fun mode, and doing this gunshot and all. So I just want to capture that moment, and anyone can feel that energy from this image, the festive energy amongst the people from this image. Next one. Yeah. So basically, in my last 4 5 images, if you observed, I am traveling from one state to another state of India, and how the entire tradition and culture is, one after another changing. And that is the actual beauty of India. It's so impressive. That is the beauty of our country. So here you can see it's from Ladakh. It's uh, local monastery festival is going on. It's Shomoriri. So at the background, the entire the viewers is getting an idea about the geographical region. The background there is mountains, lake, little bit of lake is there. That is Shomoriri Lake. So the entire ambience is there of the monastery, and the monks were dancing. It is the Korzo Gustor festival I have captured. And through this image, I want to give my viewers the entire feel of the place as well as what is going on during the festival. So that's why while uh, documenting this festival, I was, roaming around the entire monastery to get a point from where I can capture, from where I can get such an angle where I can capture the beautiful landscape as well as the beautiful festival together. So luckily I got a point in the roof on the roof of the monastery, and with my wide angle lens I got this shot. And it's giving the feel of the place, and as well as the feel of the festival, of the local people are enjoying the festival, the monks are dancing, and the beautiful atmosphere. So this is all about travel photography for me. So giving my audience, giving my viewers the maximum information. The
This
next,
picture, it shows that you have used a polarizing filter. You can see the beautiful depth in the cloud formation and the sky. How, what do you feel about the importance of polarizing filter in travel photography?
I actually not that much use polarized filter, but sometimes in these case at the middle of the day, only during the middle of the day when there is good sunlight and all, and huge light is there, at that time I use the polarized filter. Otherwise, not that much, because while while I'm attending uh, this kind of shooting, this kind of festival, I keep on roaming around different places. So somewhere
Mm,
is light, huge light, somewhere is completely shadow.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
the polarized filter remain there, and sometime it happened with me. I forgot to take the polarized filter, and the entire
mm,
image become dark. So I don't
mm.
use polarized filter that much, but for this shot, yes, I have used it and it's come out nicely. But generally, I don't use filters too much.
Okay.
So from north to we are south, we are going to south. This is Kerala Thayam festival, the peak moment of fire Thayam, when the person appearing and dancing like a god and entering the fire. So it's a peak moment of the festival. Uh, I love this image of Thayam. It's giving actually the audience the feel of the festival. Yeah, the next one. Culture always doesn't mean that you have to capture festival. Culture means practice also, traditional practice of a particular place. So it's not only about capturing festivals. So this is the image of Mathania chili of Rajasthan, where the woman actually segregating uh, the chilies. At that time, I took this shot from a little bit from a charpai actually. I was not getting a proper shot, so I took a help of a charpai and took a top shot of these ladies working and segregating chilies. So, culture, this is just an example that culture means not only capturing festivals, it also about a few practices of that particular region. So, this is just one of them. Next. Street photography. Yes, Satish ji has told me to say something regarding street photography. Definitely, street photography comes under travel photography genre, because street photography also represent a particular place, what the people's daily life, what the people are doing in their and that in that particular place. So definitely, street photography is a very very important part of travel photography for me. And if someone asks what is street photography means to you, street photography for me is purely candid photography. No pose shot, no directorial shot, nothing, just just click, purely candid moment on street or whatever, not necessarily on street, but it should be purely candid. This image actually I took at Singapore. There is a place where I saw, beautiful wall paintings are there. So I was passing by, was looking those beautiful wall paintings. At that time I saw this mother and child with this at a particular place, and with the front image, and with the foreground image and with the background image, I want to segregate it, uh, and I have created this composition. It's a candid shot. Next. This image with the light and shadow play is there and bit colorful also. I took this image at Kharibauli. Kharibauli is it's a market area. It's a masala market at Old Delhi, very close to Jama Masjid. So it's a street photographer's paradise, I must say. So at the middle of the day, when the sun is on the top, and I was inside the market, and we took this shot, and I got a beautiful shadow of a person, and the background, if you see that there is lovely, color palette and beautiful structures, old structure is there. So I found it very interesting because it's giving a lot of information to the viewers about the place. Next. This image I took at North Bengal. This is in front of a hospital actually. I was strolling around the road and with my camera. At that time, I suddenly got this shot because in front of the hospital, this Mother Teresa wall painting was there. And luckily, and at that time, the monk was passing with this novice monk, and I took this image to to give a synchronization with the uh, painting and with the this monk with the child. Yeah, this is Varanasi, and with this image you can entirely get a feel of the place with a beautiful landscape of Varanasi, and early morning shot. When I go closer to these birds, they started flying, and I capture this shot, and it's beautifully giving the essence of the place of Varanasi. Next. Again, Varanasi. For street photography, that is one of the best place for me. And the morning yoga, the in Vedic school children were doing the morning yoga. So this time I took this image. This is also a purely candid shot. Next. This is Kolkata's flower market, and probably one of the best place for the street photographers in Kolkata. So morning, it really become very very colorful, and activities started busting, and at that time I took this image, early morning image of flower market at Kolkata. Next. And this is the actually pet market of Kolkata, another weekly market. This is the weekly pet market of Kolkata, another paradise for the street photographers in Kolkata. Here you can see how people are busy in purchasing the aquarium fish. So
The
there are a lot
person
of
at the back is very interesting. He's
uh,
looking at the fish at a very nice manner.
yeah, and if definitely there are a lot of layers are there in the picture. If you see from the right to left, from the hand is pointing to the middle of the image where two-person actually holding the packet of fish, and from there you can go behind, you can see the another person and his expression, he how he is observing and the fish and all, and the background itself is there. So there are 3 4 layers are there in this image, and for me it's a very good street image for me. Next. Yeah, street photography definitely not sorry, for travel photography definitely not ends here. There are many 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 more things you can add in travel photography. Food also represent, comes under travel photography. When you are visiting a new place, what people eat, that also comes under travel photography. And the small small details are there of a particular place, small small things, maybe doors, maybe windows, so many things are there to capture of a particular region, that also comes under travel photography. But the things what I love to capture, I just, representing here the little bit of landscape, more and more people and portrait, and more about the culture that I love the most regarding travel photography. So, here the next section, what I prefer to shoot. Yes, definitely it's expression and emotion of people. That is the toughest part, and that is the most satisfying part also. If I manage to capture the expression and emotion of people, it's so fulfilling as a photographer. It's so satisfying. Uh, Here in this image, you can see it's a Barsana temple during Holi. I took this shot. People actually want the prasad, the laddu. After puja, uh, the priest, they were throwing prasad from the roof of the temple, and the urge of getting that prasad is reflecting from everyone's face. If you can see each and every person in this image, their urge to get that prasad is reflecting, everyone having a different kind of expression. And most importantly, that lady in front of me, she was almost crying because she was not getting a little bit of prasad, so almost she was crying. So it's showing the faith, the Indian people faith on God, story of human story of faith. Next. Yeah, this is I this image I took actually at North Bengal, in a school while I'm doing a small trek. I saw a very small primary schools. Primary school is there, and the children are, giggling, laughing, sounds were coming. So I approached to the school. There was just two, three classrooms were there, very small school. I first approached the teacher that I came from Kolkata in your village. Is it possible for me to shoot the kids? At that time, tiffin period is going on, break were going on. So they give me permission. So I enter the classroom, and the first thing is the ice breaking session. So I give my camera to them to, make them feel little bit comfortable with me, as well as, they are to raise their curiosity about camera and photo. Then I took few portraits, I share with them, and I told them, if you give them, give me lot of expressive moments, the way you were laughing and giggling, then you will look good in photos. And after that moment they started, jumping, laughing, and giving poses on their own. And if you can see that each and every in this image, each and every child is giving a different expression. So I took 10, 15 shots, uh, and from that I select this image. um,
In fact, I find this image as the best children images that I have seen so far. Child
yeah,
images,
this is
beautiful images, image, particularly
the
with the expressions that you mentioned. And Hardik,
every
which child do you like, man? Here, the pose.
That's really tough, that's really tough.
No,
That's really,
what is interesting? No, you see the center fellow. He is looking at Tanya with the binocular.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's the most funniest child I find. A beautiful expressions, fantastic.
good question, and you can't just with ask them to pose. It's a
You don't have to, yeah,
simply not possible to ask each and everyone give different pose. I
beautiful.
will.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Tanya,
were so.
actually, you have given the camera to the children who are in the villages. They don't know about camera. Don't try the same thing in city. They will format the camera and give you.
Yeah, true. Kids are really very smart nowadays.
But fantastic, the way you have used it, the composition, the wide angle lens, and particularly this suits so beautiful in black and white. That I loved it.
And this is my very first image that actually received award. And I took
Oh,
this image, maybe 6 years back, 2014, 15. Very
mhm.
first image where I received international award. So this image
Mhm.
is very close to my heart. Not only that,
Yeah, yeah.
international image, I got uh, state government award, West Bengal government state award for photography for this image actually. The
दीदी
world
के
through,
याद में
yeah, the world through my eyes. Uh, the theme was there, world
beautiful
through.
picture.
So this award also got state uh, government award. Anyway, next. So this is the when I talk about capturing emotion of people, I was actually discussing that. You can see the expression of this lady. This is widow holy image where the widows came at Vrindavan, and for a day actually they play with the colors, with the flower petals, and this old lady, the way she was started dancing with the song, and a very pleasant and peaceful smile is there in her face, and her gesture of hand movement, I really love it. So expressing emotion is capturing emotion is something important for me while practicing photography. Next. Yeah, this is Bangladesh image. There is a festival called Rakhe Rupobash. It happens at the evening, late evening actually, and lot of, you can see, lot of diya and smoke they use during the festival. And I was observing this kid. He was cooperating, how the way he was cooperating with the parent during the ritual happens for 2 hours, and it was because of the heat and because of the smoke. Even it's unbearable for the elder one also, but the way the kid actually cooperating with their parent and participating in the ritual, I was amused. At one point of time, he was started crying and closed his eyes because tears were continuously rolling from his face. Maybe this is another side of human storytelling of faith, how kids actually cooperate and learn from their parents, uh, and start believing and develop faith. Next. Yeah, while I say expression is important, this is again Thayyam festival here. While the dance performance, you can see the expressive eyes of this person. It's something important for me. That expression tells everything. Next. It is the same event of Rakhe Upawash, Bangladesh. I really like the gesture of this person, and I used a wide angle lens and I came close and took this image. But my presence also didn't distract the person from the way he was performing the ritual. uh, I felt the posture actually, the kind of a posture I felt very interesting, and I made a composition and I took this shot. And the way he was engrossed and uh, performing his ritual was, I felt very interesting. Next. Yeah, live actions. During covering any cultural practice or festival, the peak moment, the action packed moment, I always, interest me a lot. It comes as a challenge for me whether I am capable enough to, take a shot that actually represent the culture, or, represent the peak moment of that festival. So if you look closely, the person, the Baba who was dancing with the sword, actually resting on the sword itself. His legs are on the air, and he was entirely resting his body on the sword and was dancing. So I felt, and the audience is there, how they are observing the Baba and the Baba's dance. The temple is there in the background, is giving the entire ambience and what actually going on during the festival. It's the viewers can extract a lot of information from this image. So live actions are very important for me while
Yeah, actually,
shooting.
this kind of festivals where it is 99.99% occupied by the males, particularly the male photographers. How do you manage being a lady? How do you manage your place at the front row and low angle? So many things, you have to move here and there and choose your best angle. And how do you manage?
It's a Shatishji, it's a very good question actually. And being a woman, capturing, documenting this kind of festival, sometime I found, you know, benefit. As a woman, it was some benefit was there, and sometime it was, I have faced and experienced so many negative things are there. So let's talk about the positive thing. This particularly in this festival, it is Veer Yatra festival near at Maharashtra, near Pune. So there was, only few photographers were there. So while they were not allowing any photographer to come so close to Baba and capture a shot, but somehow I convinced few people that I came from Kolkata to experience your festival, to experience your culture, and I request them, please give me permission to get closer, because otherwise I will miss the opportunity to capture, document your festival. And they, cooperate me a lot, and they give me passage, and allow me to sit in front of Baba and observe the entire event. So as a,
But
maybe as,
does this kind of permission given at some places, does this happens every time? It's very rare,
no,
no? Not every time.
absolutely, it's completely, it's basically, they don't, most of the time, 90% cases, they don't even bother,
Yeah,
whether they don't even bother or don't want to listen the photographers, because most of the
correct.
places they have thousands of photographers, so no one bothers or care about photographers requirement. And especially if you are a woman and in the middle of thousands of people, so many, so many unpleasant experiences I have faced, but now I have become mature enough to handle those kind of situation,
Situations.
because
Yeah,
I know, if I feel disheartened, or if it creates those unpleasant event, create distract me, I will, not
leave
able
the
to
place and go.
yeah, yeah, I will not achieve for what I came here to capture the festival and whatever. For
Yeah.
at the very beginning, when I started photography, it disappoints me a lot. But now it's okay, and it's totally depends on your body language, on your gesture, how you are managing crowd. That is also very important, how you are handling crowd. So I'm very, as maybe this kind of festival I have attended so many times, now I know how to face the crowd, how to handle the crowd. So let's see, experience, matlab
Yeah, yeah.
kuch experience actually matters. uh,
Yeah, yeah, of course.
yeah, the next one. This is again the Thayyam festival at the peak moment when the fire Thayyam is going on and the god is dancing with the fire and all. So I love these moments, these action packed, lively moments. Next. Yeah, again the Pattan Kodli festival, the Baba is dancing and his hairs are, floating on the air, and there are tons of haldi on air, and the ambience, the people are there with totally covered with haldi and all. The floor also you can see, it's completely covered with haldi. So it's one of the peak moment of the festival, and somehow I able to manage myself, get close to Baba and get that shot. Next. This is the Teshu festival of Bhutan, Thimphu Zong. I took this festival at Thimphu Zong, and you can see there's a line, diagonal line is there, and all the monks dancing, they were all on the air, all together. Everyone is on air. So this is image which is very close to me. It's giving the feel of the festival, of the ambience, and I love it. Next one. This is Hola Mola festival, and I must say I took a little bit of risk to take this image. They were, the race were going on, horse race were going on, and to take this kind of image, and I have to come in front uh, of those horse, little bit front, and I took managed to get few shots of this. Next. Yeah, the live moment always doesn't mean that the static image, even the giving feeling of motion, the movement, the feeling of movement actually make the image more lively. So, uh, motion blur, most of the time I use motion blur images to give the feel of the place. Next. This is Jejuri festival. Yeah, what I love to capture pattern when I am, in a public gathering, covering a public gathering, festival, or any sort of any public gathering. I love to capture pattern and symmetry and pattern. It's one of my favorite photography composition. Here you can see this. This is the Jejuri festival, and
This is
I
going to
really,
happen this month end, right? December end.
yeah, yeah. I guess January or February maybe.
Hmm.
Next. This is again that Rakhe Rupova festival uh, in the temple compound. There, beside the temple compound, there was a big building. So I went to the building top, and I got a top shot. I don't have drone to take such kind of a shot, but I was observing the way these people was sitting and performing the ritual was very attractive to me, and I just want to get that view. I want a bird's eye view, and so I went to a neighboring building, and from there I got this top shot. Next. This is again Teshu festival, and just I have used motion blur to give the feel of the audience that the dance and everything is going on. And if you see the background, the people, everyone, every single person there are in their traditional attire. Everyone is wearing traditional dress, and it's so colorful looking. People are looking so great in their traditional dress. Next,
It's
next.
very beautiful shot.
Yeah, thank you.
Very nice.
And this one is break the pattern. Means at Nandagaon Holi Vrindavan, I was in the middle of the, in the middle of the that samaj was going on, and beside and behind me there were thousands of photographers struggling to get a shot, and I was also struggling, fighting with everyone around me to with my camera, along with my camera, to get a particular shot. And suddenly this person look at me behind, and we got a eye contact just for fraction of second, for fraction of second I click, I got that moment, and I click my camera and I captured that moment, that eye contact. So this is
See,
also one of
actually, particularly festivals like Patan Kadoli or Chijuri or this Holi and all, you are actually taking risk with your cameras and yourself with the dust. That is the colors. And
yeah.
for every photographer, the main problem is the dust or the color going inside the camera. Even in spite of covering your camera with plastic or color, cloth or whatever, the finer dust it gets inside the camera and lens. So, what is your take on this? How do you protect?
Uh,
How do you
this
clean?
before corona I used to attend Holi for the, basically I conduct workshop there every year, so 5 consecutive year I have covered Holi and this kind of festival. So I prefer to use underwater covering. That gives the maximum amount of protection to the camera. Underwater housing, cover for the camera, I have that one. But there is a disadvantage, is that the focal length got fixed. So I
Mm,
actually use 2470. So I make,
mm.
my focal length keep at 24 itself, fix it at 24, and I capture whatever I get
But
with
that
that.
underhouse casing is bulky, no? To carry to such places.
No, no, no. It's not that bigger one. It's a small
Mm,
one there.
okay.
Underwater housing is there completely. It's a good one. Maybe later I can share with you. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's online. It is available. That gives a good maximum
You
protection to the
you
camera.
you share that with me when we go to this festival.
Sure. Next. Click.
Yeah, just talking about the covering and the way you get exposed to the surrounding. I don't know where I saw your image where you are completely drenched with the holy and your camera also, and no one could ever tell that this is Tanya. I don't know if I saw that image here. I'm just trying to scroll the Instagram, but I don't think so. I'm still there. I'm just
That was
scrolling.
not in the Instagram. No,
You should actually
that was
post that.
while capturing this kind of festival. At the end, what happened to me to just give my viewer that view, I kept that image. At the end, what about the person who is behind the camera?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
I was
Yeah,
also completely drenched with this color, my camera and me. It's very difficult actually. And not only that, you have to keep some a clean cloth with yourself and
yeah,
continuously have to clean the in front of the camera, because at all
Yeah.
the time colors and dust are coming. uh, Powders of different powders are coming and depositing in front of your camera. To keep on cleaning, 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 there are so many things you have to do to
of
cover this kind
course.
of festivals.
Yeah, amazing.
Next. Yeah, this is Iping festival, um, at Chiang Mai, Thailand. One of the mesmerizing experience of lifetime. At one single moment, 10 to 15,000 lanterns they release. And nowadays, these lanterns also came in India. But the time I have visited Chiang Mai, first time I saw lanterns, but nowadays here in India also lanterns are available, but not in this huge amount. So here you can see that this is the original image, no composite or anything. At a single time, everyone, 10 to 12,000 lanterns people used to release, and what a mesmerizing experience it was. Next one, environmental portrait, that I talk about earlier also. This I will do little bit quick, and I really love to capture environmental portrait. Here you can see the person, what he is doing. He is wearing a headgear that is very unique with the hornbill feather, and he is preparing another headgear for the festival. So you are getting people are getting some information uh, about the person in the image. Next. Here is a behind the scene image of Thayyam festival where the painting, where God is actually preparing himself for the event. So it's very interesting how the face painting going on. So apart from just headshot portraits, I love to capture this kind of environmental portrait to give little bit of information to the viewers that what is actually going on with the person. Next. This is one of my favorite portrait I took in Varanasi. I was strolling around the ghat of Varanasi where I saw this person performing the last ritual for one of his parent, maybe one of his parent, and the person appeared to me very very interesting because one of his eyes is not there, and there is a cut mark. If you observe closely, there is a cut mark is there, and one eye is not there, and I his look is very different, and more of that, and above all he is wearing a white color dress because he was performing the last ritual. So to take his portrait, I wait for half an hour and I was observing the person. He was also observing me, that she is observing me with the camera. So when once is the all the ritual ended and he ends, I approached him and I asked him. He was changing his dress actually at that time. I asked him, "May I take your picture?" And he said yes, because more than half an hour I was waiting. So, and I got this image with the person with that look, very different kind of a look. I like this portrait. Next. This is also at Pattankodli festival, and this is a, you can say, the group leader. The person in front of the image is group leader, and I don't know their language. They don't know my language, but still we were, communicating. I told them I want his image because he is very, very looking great with the color, with the turban and all. So his fellow partners, they told him, he is a group leader, so his mustache must be, upward rising. It's for the to and they started pulling his mustache to make it upward, but it was unfortunately not becoming upward and it's going down and down, so it was a very funny moment. And
They have
while
not
that
seen Hardik.
yeah, that was, yeah. And while the process was going on, pulling mustache and all, I took this image, and it was very interesting image. I found very interesting this image.
Thanks for the
This
idea. We'll try to do it in our EC meeting with Hardik.
and this also shows the human,
You
relation
know,
or
it's
interaction.
quite comedy and a very comic picture. Very nice. And the person on the left, he is looking, observing. Nice picture. And the focus also, it is right on the person. The depth, it is not so much of depth. It's very apt. Beautiful image.
The first thing comes in mind that why the person is pulling his mustache. The first question appear when you saw this image. Why the person pulling? Actually, he's not pulling. He
Because
wants to
because
put up.
he's the leader, they cannot pull his leg. So they are pulling his mustache.
Yeah, the next one.
Good one.
Next. Yeah, this is the expression or emotion, whatever you say. This is
Cute.
the image of innocence. Innocence are there in the eyes of the child, and you can see जैसे innocence झलक रहा है आंखों से. So it's just like that only.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and the entire ambience, it's the child is like, I'm clueless, what is going on. It's the innocence is there in the child eye. So I love to capture this kind of images. Actually give me a lot of satisfaction where I'm able to capture the emotion and expression of people. Next. Give a sense of the place to my viewers. This is also very important. So, giving from the very beginning, I was telling that while capturing travel photography, doing travel photography, there is always in my mind that I want I love that such kind of images that give the sense of the place uh, to my viewers. I don't have to explain them a lot about my images. They can grab, they can extract information from the image itself. So this is the Veer Yatra festival, and the entire event is there in a single image. The temple is there. They actually, the um, flag is there, and the Baba is there dancing, and the audience, the devotees are there, and all are in red color. So it gives a sense of the entire event. Next. Yeah, this is the same event of Bangladesh. I told you I took the uh, top shot. This is again the top shot. Uh, Here also you can see the ambience is very important for me while doing practicing travel photography. Here the temple is there, and surrounding the temple, how the devotees has uh, how the devotees were they were all in a line, in a geometrical pattern. They were sitting in a well mannered way, in a pattern, in a line, and they were performing the ritual. They were performing their prayer, which is quite very unique. Next. This is Myanmar image, and you can see the lady with they were actually dyeing clothes, coloring the clothes actually. So from a top angle, the lady was going another place. वो कपड़े सुखाने के लिए जा रहे थे to hang those clothes, and from a top from a house actually with a wide angle lens, I took this image. I love the V shape, and the lady and the background with the lotus leaves and all the color difference. Very colorful image. I love it, giving the sense of the place. Next. Yeah, this is also Myanmar, uh, with the Intha fisherman. I love the salute here, especially the sun behind the person, and the background there was another fisherman is there. So that is adding another element. And in front, the fish in front, the fish, the person, and the background another fisherman. So it's one of my favorite composition. Next. Yeah, it's a Ladakh. You can see a monk was standing, and there was wind blowing, and how he was standing and observing the lake. And you can see the snow-clad mountain, the lake, and the village in the background. And the foreground, the monk is standing and in his red color robe, and getting the feel of the entire place. So am I. It actually making a feel that I am actually absorbing the place. So In the one single frame, you can get a feel of the entire area, the mountain, the lake, the agricultural land, the village, and the monk. So many things are there in a single image. Next. Yeah, this is Rajasthan. Uh, Rajasthan and the Jaisalmer desert. So, desert means for us camel ladies with matka and all. I try to make little bit light and shadow play and trying to do a different type of composition. Lot of color composition are there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please go. This is again Myanmar. You can get the feel of the monastery and the monks. So you can get an idea about the place. Next. Yes, Ladakh again. Uh, as you can see, the background, uh, the yaks, and the master of the yak is also there with the yak. And in foreground, there is the prayer stones are there. A big prayer stones are piling up in the foreground. Uh, so it's also giving a lot of information of a geographical region of the place to the viewers. So this is all about travel photography for me. You know, it's telling about how the place look like, what the person they do, what kind of animals are there in this region. So many informations are there in this photograph. So this is travel photography for me. Next. This is the common question where everyone used to ask me, what is your camera and what kind of camera and lens you use? So I have kept it here. As I mentioned, that I love to travel light, and sometimes it happens I only carry a single camera. If I have I use Nikon Z6 and Z6 two body I have, and I have one wide angle lens and one 2470. Most of my images are taken from 2470. So, and most of the time it happens, I decide today I will use only wide angle lens. So my mindset and my thought process work accordingly, that I will not use any medium zoom lens or any daily lens or nothing, only wide angle. So I only start thinking the composition only that way. So sometime it happens throughout the tour I only carry 2470, and it helps me with a single lens. Actually, it helps me to concentrate more about composition rather than कौन सा lens ले क्या change करे these that. I don't want to make things complicated. It's for me it's better to stick with a single lens and thought accordingly as per the lens. And my favorite one is 2470. Next. Yeah, there is a little bit advice if you like my images, and there is little bit advice to my viewers that creating a meaningful body of works require 4 P's. That is preparation. Preparation is very, very important. Where you are going, just Google it about the place, about the event, or about the culture of that place. Try to get some local connection and try to get as much as information possible. Try to know about the place as much as possible. More and more you know about the place, it's become easy for you to capturing photos. The essence will come reflect in your image if you know more about the people, know more about the culture. So that's why preparation is very important, and preparation doesn't means only photographically preparation. Logistic preparation is also important. where the event or where you want to travel, where you are staying, the hotel, the distance, and what kind of logistic car you are going to use. Everything, logistic arrangements and the preparation is very important part of travel photography. Perseverance, practice, uh, you know practice and practice, that is the and the key of success. And every nothing comes easily. You have to keep patience a lot, and it took years. There is no shortcut, unfortunately. There is no shortcut of to become master in a genre. There is absolutely no shortcut. You have to do on your own, and you have to learn on your own, and you have to create on your own. And for that, uh, you have to keep patience. Although because of right now, because of social media, a lot of pressure are there on the photographers, because each and every day we saw so many beautiful images in social media. So indirectly it create a kind of a pressure that I have you also have to develop that level. Competition is good, but the thing is that you have to be patient. You have to practice more on your own, and the day will come when also you will do create some wonder and all. And another thing, that's a final word I want to say, that do photography for yourself. When I click a image, I first ask myself whether I am happy with it, whether I am happy. If the answer comes from inside, yes, I am happy, I'm very satisfied with that image, I really don't bother that the image whether getting any award or only any appreciation from anyone. I really don't bother or care, because what I feel that I do and practice photography for myself, for to make myself happy. So that is very important for me. So I keep myself happy with my photography. So don't do photography for any award or appreciation. Do it for yourself. And that's all. Thanks for listening. And thank you so much. And if you want to follow me, there are there is another slide, Hardik. Uh, yes, and Instagram, Facebook, or in YouTube, you can follow. There is my website also. You can follow me there, and we can stay connected. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your time, friends.
Thank you so much, Tania. It was a wonderful session. And you
You're
are the
my
first lady asking us to follow you. So actually, the most of the things that you have told about the four P's, particularly which is very important as a photographer. And another mantra of a photographer is first you have to do photography for your own satisfaction. These are all the kind of
very important.
important things in our life, particularly as a photographer. And I believe it is very important in all genres of photography. It's not just travel photography. Even
Of
in all genres of photography, every point, whatever you have told, is very, very important. We should never try to impress others, and we should never try to do photography to for the
absolutely,
liking of others. So first we have
absolutely.
to do photography for our self satisfaction. That is, you have told a very good point in that. And all these four P's, very, very important. Particularly if you practice that, then people will reach to your level. Fantastic journey that you have come across in your travel photography. And you have shown us the wonderful images and given lot of information on various festivals across India. And I wanted to see more of your Myanmar and Bangladesh images also along with this. So, uh, we would like to have one more session after a few months whenever you are free.
Sure,
Let
sure.
us have a different session again. And thanks to you for accepting our invitation and coming to YPS.
My
We are very
pleasure.
happy with the session.
My pleasure.
Over to you, Hardik.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Tanya. It was really wonderful. Talking to people, connecting with them, and capturing the culture and with the grace what you have taken the whole session. And with each image as it was coming, and I could see that yes, this is the image. You are getting so joyful about. I guess that's what you were just showing throughout the presentation indirectly, that you need to love your work. So that was really
Yes,
beautiful.
that's the thing. No, first you should love your work, and your
Yeah,
work should
Yeah,
be original. That
correct.
originality and the creativity is the satisfaction actually comes from the originality and the creativity. And
true,
if
true.
you are happy from your inside with your photography, it actually it will reflect from your images. That is the
Yeah,
thing.
true,
Absolutely.
true. Very true. And yeah, it was a wonderful session. As Satish sir mentioned about that, you want to see more images. I kind of want to see the grayscale images, because I was just scrolling through our Instagram a couple of days back, and I saw there's a section called grayscale and absolutely wonderful images. I mean, I would love to have a complete session on monochrome.
After this corona and all those over, someday I definitely
Yeah,
want to visit Bengaluru and will able to interact offline
Yeah, yeah. Please do
to get
come. Yeah,
online, because so many things are there to share, and just 1 or 2 hour is not enough. And
true. Yeah,
I
perfect.
hope one day we will able to do offline session also.
Yeah,
definitely.
that.
When you are visiting South India, no, you make it a point to come to Bangalore and stay for a few days, and we can have your program in our YPS hall, where quite a number of people they come and attend physically, and we can interact very nicely, and we can see lot many beautiful award-winning images of yours. Maybe some more different genres of photography from you. We can
Yeah,
see.
yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure,
let us plan
definitely.
for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I wish everybody happy Christmas and happy New Year, and hope the New Year will bring more photographic opportunities and prosperity in your life, and have a good health and good safe year ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
happy new year to everyone. Hope this year, we will in 2022 we will become free from the corona. And that is the
Yeah,
big thing I wish as a travel photographer.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Hardik.
Exactly. Yep. We have a little bit spill. However, I'd just like to take this one question from Mr. Rajaram. He's asking, yeah, he says, wonderful program with excellent sharing of experiences, ma'am. Do you go all such places alone or in groups?
Both. Few places I love to visit solo, because sometime when I visit solo, I talk with myself a lot. Solo traveling, I feel as a traveler or as a travel photographer is important. How you are handling and managing the logistic things, and how you are interact get more time to interact with the local people. When you are in a group, you don't get that much time. Suppose I want to spend more time with a community, but when you are in a group, or maybe you are with your friends, 3 4 friends and all, sometimes you don't get that much of time. Or maybe sometime it happens for me, it's completely reverse. I felt this place is not that much interesting, but the fellow friends, they are very interested to capture something else that I'm not interested. So that is for me is a waste of time. So sometime I travel solo, and sometime definitely with friends, because that is also very important to make the trip more meaningful, more funny, more joyous, and together.
Um,
But I always love to, apart from my workshop, I just travel with very close friend of mine, just one or two very close friend of mine, not with a big group, apart from my workshop. Yeah.
nice.
Any more
Yep.
questions?
So, mm, no, I guess it's all positive thoughts. Very informative session. Patience is the biggest virtue for travel photographers. Yeah,
Definitely.
true.
It's ऐसे ही कुछ नहीं होगा in travel photography. It took years. It took years, and you
Yeah,
need to travel a lot. And it's not really easy deal, especially if you are a family person. It's not a easy deal to travel a lot, because you need to balance everything, your family, your job, and then traveling. So it's quite difficult. And sometimes it
true.
happens that, suppose I visit a particular place and I didn't get, first time visit is all about knowing the place.
Yeah,
And the from the second visit you started getting images, because you know the light, you know the place, you know the people. So it happened with me that, I'm not satisfied with the first visit, and repeated visit, I have to give repeat visit to the same place to get good images. So sometimes travel photographer is very difficult to balance everything,
right.
financially, really, and time management, everything. It's uh, the
Nice.
entire thing is challenging, but ultimately get some good images. It's worth, and it's fulfilling, very satisfying.
Yeah, and your
No, that
your
is the essence of photography, because when you visit the festivals and you are drenched in so much of dust and colors and so many things and uh, interacting with people, fighting with people, exchanging words, all those things. And out of all these difficulties, if you get one or two very good pictures, all these troubles are gone because of
Yes,
two, three very good pictures. You will never remember all those bad things.
exactly,
So
exactly.
end of the day, you love your work. That is the beauty of photography.
Exactly. And that's why I repeatedly visit, Holi and those Patangotli, this kind of festival,
Yeah, yeah.
because it's those capturing and covering and shooting this kind of festivals are very challenging, especially as a woman. But I know end of the day, definitely I am bringing back some excellent image, very soul satisfying images for myself. So that's why every year I may used to visit. But after Corona, last 2 years, I'm not visiting Holi. Let's see in future. I will definitely go again.
yeah,
Hope our life will be very colorful from next year.
Yeah,
true.
fingers are crossed.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. With that, we'll come to end of session. It was a very inspiring session, and so much of knowledge. Definitely, we would like to do travel photography like this. At least I am not much into travel photography, so I'll try to pick it up.
We'll make you, Hardik.
Done, done. Yes.
And thank
Game.
you so much, YPS, the entire team. Thank you so much. It's an honor
Most
Yeah,
to
welcome.
it's
be a
yeah,
guest presenter. And I
perfect.
must say, your entire teamwork is very professional. And I used to work with professional people and all. So it actually, the way you have approached the entire thing you are conducting, it's very professional, and I really love it. And I
That.
appreciate it. And I wish you all the best to YPS.
Thank you so much, Tania. That is the reason why YPS is number one photography club in India
Exactly,
because of the
exactly,
professionalism.
exactly.
Thank you so
And
much.
because of the teamwork. That is important.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you so much. It was a really wonderful session. We hope to meet you in person and do some travel photography and have some presentations in person like this. Wonderful. So before we close our today's session, okay, so this was the YPS Meet Live Season 2, Episode 19. We started in 2020 and 2021, and we'll be stepping to 2022. Yep, that was a series I wanted to complete, 19, 20, 21, and 22. So, yep, Happy New Year to all. I hope, we get to do more travel photography in the next coming year.
Hardik,
And, uh,
Hardik, you have to announce the program on 2nd January. The most
yeah,
important and
Yeah. So what we have been doing is the YPS Meet Live, and we have also have something called Golden Hour, where we are doing a series called Nenapugalu, Trip Down Memory Lane, and we have a very exciting session coming up this January 2nd, the next Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. And if you can guess what it can be, so do put them in the comment section. I really don't want to reveal. Please look out for our broadcast and our messages on the Facebook and YouTube and Instagram so that you come to know. If you can guess them, yep, that will be amazing. I'll give you a shout out in the next session. Yep. And I forgot to mention that I have already dropped Tanya's Instagram handle and the website on the chat. I will do it again. I'll put the website. So do check it out and do check out her work. It's really amazing. The website
And
is also
question, you can personally reach out to me and drop your question and inbox me. I will definitely answer you.
perfect. And I have again dropped the website, and there we go. We have the Instagram handle as well. That is Tania Chatterjee official. Perfect. Quick round of announcements, and then we'll come to end of session. As we all know, this is our golden jubilee year, and we're trying to create something called Golden Book of YPS. So if you have any artifacts with respect to YPS, we request you to upload them on memex.ypsbengaluru.com. Before this year ends, pick up your YPS memorables. We have the limited edition mugs. We have caps in two colors. So just go to the website, look for this image, YPS memorables, add whatever you want to get into the cart and check out, and the items will be delivered at your doorstep. Last but not the least, if you wish to become a member, scan the QR code which is presented on the screen. If not, visit our website, ypsbengaluru.com. The whole registration process is completely digitalized. And I urge you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So that's it for today. This is our last session for 2021, and see you all in 2022 with an exciting session this coming Sunday, January 2nd. That is the Golden Hour Nenapoglu Trip Down Memory Lane. Thank you once again, Tanya, for coming to YPS. It was really wonderful meeting you. Thank you
thank you,
so much.
Tanya.
Very wish you all the best.
All the
Bye.
best. Bye bye.